Hello folks, blimey, it's been a long old time, isn't it? Firstly, apologies to those of you who have subscribed to my channel and stuck by me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all of the wonderful comments that I've had. That's just been amazing, and that's what's made me want to get out and do videos again. So here I am. I've got a couple of hours this afternoon. Gonna see if I can catch a pike. I have done absolutely no fishing for several months. I had a brief fishing trip when I was in Norfolk. When was that? About September-ish last year. But really I haven't done much at all. That's partly because of work. Prior to Christmas, I had an acting job. I was playing Santa Claus, but not in a shop or anything like that. I was on a train. But it was a fantastic job, really enjoyed it, but it kind of kept me out of the loop. I really didn't have any time to do any fishing or anything. And the weather was absolutely appalling as well. As those of you in the UK know, before Christmas last year we had extraordinary amounts of rain. This is my local stretch of canal, and it was just rolling through like nobody's business. Essentially this bit of canal, call it canal, it's subject to the river season because it links the River Trent and the River Witham in Lincoln. And so when you get flooded river systems, this floods as well, and it was actually up over the bank on the other side. Some of the boat owners, I don't know how they were getting on and off their boats because there was water between them and the bank that they could reach. So it was pretty appalling. So it wasn't really fishable. I was really busy. Then I was quite ill, only with a really bad cold and chest infection, you know, but certainly not feeling like I wanted to get out. There we go, just dropped my other rod. Not feeling like I wanted to get out on the bank. Yeah, so that's it basically. Lots of excuses, but I just haven't been fishing, so can't really make films when you're not fishing. Now the other issue that I had, those of you who watch my channel know that it was set up originally as a beach fishing channel, and that's my first love. That's what I did when I was a kid. You know, I grew up down in Kent, South Kent coast. I learned how to go sea fishing. I had lots of friends who used to go down to the local canal, which is the Royal Military Canal, and they used to go pike fishing and did coarse fishing and stuff, but it never really appealed to me. I just didn't really see the point. I liked eating fish even as a young lad, and I just thought, well, why don't you just go down the beach and then you can catch fish and you can eat them. So I never really got into coarse fishing and stuff, and then about a year or so ago, I got really fed up with the fact that I wasn't getting to go fishing. Actually no, more than that, probably 2 and a bit years ago. I got really fed up that I wasn't getting to do any fishing. I live in Lincolnshire. I'm 40-50 miles from the coast. It's not a particularly great coastline to fish, so I really wasn't getting any fishing done, and I was finding that really frustrating. And then through work I was kind of friends with a work colleague who was quite into his kind of pike fishing and stuff. We got into doing some lure fishing. I caught my first pike and I got bitten by the bug, really. So over the last kind of couple of years, 18 months, a lot of what I've been doing is learning, trying to learn, watching videos on YouTube, buying stuff, oh God, a lot of rods. And I've put myself in a position where I'm kind of, you know, I'm learning and I'm enjoying learning coarse fishing, and that's everything. You know, I started off really on the predator side of it, really enjoyed that, pike fishing, perch fishing, doing quite a lot of lure fishing, large lures, you know, heavy kind of bait casting rod with big old lures on it for catching pike. in the warmer months, and then you know, tiny little lures, drop shotting for perch, all sorts of different stuff. I'm very fortunate in that I have a local piece of water, which is this here, literally very, very close to my house. I bring the car because I can't be asked to carry everything, but you know, it is walking distance really. I'm lucky that there is so much life in this stretch. You know, we've got pike to quite good numbers. The biggest pike I've ever had out of here has been 17.5 pounds, but I know that there is a 40-pound pike in this stretch. So yeah, there are some good sized pike. There are lots of jacks. There are loads and loads of perch, small perch, some quite decent sized perch. Oh, I think I've just had a knock on that rod. Oh, there we go. You see, I'm gassing away and I might actually have a fish. Is she going to do anything? No, we've had a bit of a knock, but it stopped. We'll keep an eye on it, see what happens. Yeah, this isn't the spot that I've normally pike fished. Normally I'm over on the other side and I kind of go in between the boats and stuff, but there were so many cars parked over there and stuff. So I actually came to an area where I've done a lot of coarse fishing. So back to the fish species in here, then you've got kind of, so you've got the predators, but then you've got dace, you've got really good roach, amazing rudd. I had an incredible rudd out of here. Was it last summer or summer before? I think when I'd literally just started doing this stuff. And I didn't have any scales with me, but it was 11.5 inches long. It was enormous. I didn't even know they grew that big. So that was really cool. I've had some really nice tench out of here. There are breams, everything from skimmers up to quite good ones, and apparently there are even carp. You do get a few guys coming down here trying to carp fish. I've never seen a carp caught out of here, but they are there apparently. So literally this stretch of water is teeming with life. So it really inspires you to try lots and lots of different fishing methods. So for the kind of tackly people, I've got 2 rods out to go. I actually do have 3 of these rods. These are Fox Rage 10-foot 3-pound test curve pike stroke carp rods. We use them for carping. I'm not a big carp fisherman, to be honest. I'd rather fish wild stretches of water. That beeper is going off again. Yeah, going and sitting on a lake that's stocked doesn't have a massive appeal. I've done a bit of carp fishing. It was kind of basically like shooting fish in a barrel, really, but you know, you get a decent sized carp on. There was a bit of a fight. It's quite good fun. But I'm certainly not one of these people that's going to end up kind of, you know, kipping overnight in a bivvy, you know, with bite alarms and no, that's not me. If I'm going to go out all night, I'd much rather be on a beach. So yeah. God, where are we? There's a lot of waffling. Sorry, but there's quite a lot to catch up on. And I just hope this is working. Because now, yes, that was the other thing that I was going to talk about. So yeah, so I've been doing quite a lot of coarse fishing and whatever. I've got lots of different rods, reels. I didn't mention Shimano DL6000 RB bait runners. Love them, really good. So that's my kind of like setup for this. I do have another one, but I haven't bothered putting it out because I'm literally here only for a couple of hours. And the other issue that I had was the videoing. I'm just going to tighten that up to that a little bit and just see. It might be just something's knocked the line. Yeah, there was an issue with videoing. What I was using was a GoPro, which is what I'm using now. And an old Handycam, you know, video camera. The problem was that there was no way of attaching external audio to the video camera that I had. It's an old Sony. It just wasn't, I don't think it's even, I looked online, there was an attachment thing that you could get, but I simply couldn't find one. But it's quite old technology now. I mean, it was okay, and it was quite useful for beach fishing videos at night, because you've got the night shot thing. So I sit there looking all green. But I was having to record in order. I really hate bad audio on videos, and so to get round bad audio, I was recording audio separately onto my phone, using that as a voice recorder. Then I was having to marry up all of the audio with the video using Final Cut Pro, which I don't have anymore. My computer broke down. That was one of the other reasons. My MacBook died, and that's been in there with a local guy for several months. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that back, but I do have another old MacBook that my youngest daughter's partner was going to get rid of. So he said, oh, you can have that for as long as. So that's cool. So so I don't have Final Cut Pro on that. It's quite an old one. It's just iMovie. But I'm not a fan of editing. I want to be out fishing and stuff like that. Editing's not my bag. So it was just really frustrating. It was taking ages to edit films, because you had to marry the audio to the video and stuff. And it's all, you know, if you're into that stuff, it's quite interesting, and it's quite a challenge. But I'd rather not spend hours in front of the computer doing that. I'd rather spend hours in front of the computer watching other people's YouTube videos and learning how to do fishing. So what I've done recently is, because I had a good job prior to Christmas and a few quid, I desperately needed a new phone. So I bought a new phone, iPhone 11. And I've also bought a gimbal that will enable me, this is mainly when I'm beach fishing, because I don't really need it here, because I'm in kind of one spot and I'm not really moving around, which is where the GoPro is fine. But if I'm kind of moving around a bit, I've got this gimbal, which is amazing. It allows me to put the audio in to the handle, then into the phone. It doesn't, so the wires don't interfere with the gimbal. I've got a wireless system. It's a Rode Wireless Go, which is just a bee's balls, which means that I can, so yeah, I've got a lavalier mic here. I've got a little transmitter, which is absolutely tiny. I'll show you. It's that tiny weeny little thing. So that is transmitting to the receiver, which is just as small, and that's then plugged into the GoPro, but it can also be plugged into my phone. And then with the gimbal, it can just kind of like, it can do face tracking with the app on that. So if I'm kind of moving around a lot, then I can use that, and it'll actually follow me around like having my own camera person. Or I can use the GoPro, but again, I've got the wireless sound plugged into that. So I'm not trailing leads anywhere. Graham Pullum, TA Fishing. Mate, if you ever see this, you're not going to watch this, but if you ever do, big fan of yours, get yourself Rode Wireless Go. Stop wandering around with a massive lead to your camera. The number of times I've been terrified that you're going to pull your tripod over. Yeah, it's not expensive. It's really quite cheap. Wireless systems used to be ridiculously expensive. This is cheap, it works, it's a fantastic bit of kit. Battery apparently lasts up to about 7 hours. Haven't actually used it for that. I mean, this is essentially the first time I'm using everything together and filming a video. Like I say, just to let you guys know what I've been doing. And so the future. The plan is that I'm going to try and get out and do some more fishing. There are lots of things that I would like to do fishing wise. Is that just the wind? Yeah, I think that's just the wind. Lots of things I'd like to do fishing wise. I want to do a lot more beach fishing. There are a few species that I've never caught. Rays, never. Never, ever, ever in my life. Never caught one when I used to fish when I was younger. Haven't caught one since, see, that's the other thing. There's a train going across over there, which is quite loud to me, but hopefully it's not interfering with you at all. Yeah, so, yeah, I've never caught a ray. Just have never managed to do it. Tried a couple of times, but with no success. So, really, really want to try and catch a ray. The other issue is that my wife and I share a car. She uses it for work during the week and stuff like that, so it's just kind of quite difficult for me to get out and go places. But one of her brothers, who sadly is not well, he's not very old, bless him, but he has an illness that is affecting his mobility and stuff. And he had an old car, and he basically needed to get rid of it. And he said, you know, well, you can have it if you want it. It needs MOTing and whatever. Well, so I took it. It's a very old Peugeot, 19 years old. It's done less than 100,000 miles. And it cost me 250 quid to get it through its MOT, but it's actually a bloody good little car. Everything works on it. I'm gobsmacked. So fingers crossed, all the time that keeps working, I actually have my own vehicle that I can use, and I can use it to go to auditions and stuff like that. But I can use it to go fishing. I've brought it with me today. So my wife has gone off to her jumble sale and whatever. But I have a vehicle that can get me down to the water, and so that hopefully as well means that I can go further afield. Like I say, it's great that my local stretch has all of this, you know, abundance of species in it. You can do all sorts of different fishing, float fishing, ledger fishing, you know, using feeders, maggot feeders. Done not so much, what do you call them? You know, where you kind of like squeeze the ground bait onto the top. Can't for the life of me think what that's called for the moment. It'll come back to me. I'm looking a fool now. Method feeders, that's the ones, method feeders. Not so good here because an awful lot of weed. You do find in the summer here, you do, I've actually got a rake thing that I bought because it's a good idea to kind of rake your swim. There's a ridiculous amount of weed in here. So to make it fishable, you do need to rake a swim. But that's fine. So method feeders don't tend to work so well. But I've used maggot feeders to good effect, cage feeders, stuff like that. Float fishing, really enjoy float fishing with, I went all old school and bought a free spinning reel, what they call it, centerpin, centerpin reel. And that's great fun because it just adds another dimension, adds another kind of challenge, especially when you get a larger fish, get a decent sized tench on a centerpin reel. That's quite good fun. But I mainly bought that thinking that at some point I will get up to the River Trent, maybe to other rivers, maybe on the Witham somewhere, you know, and actually kind of trot a float and stuff I've not done. Trent near me, famous for barbel, never caught a barbel. We'll try and get, I said last summer, I really must try and go and catch a barbel, didn't get round to it. Just stuff going on, but again, having the different car, I've got the rods, I've got the gear I need, so it's just a case of getting up off my backside and going and giving it a go. So, you know, hopefully that's what I'm going to be filming. So I'm really new to all this course fishing stuff. I've tried lots of different types, everything from lure fishing to float fishing to whatever. It's a massive learning curve. So, you know, by all means, if you guys who know more about, inevitably everybody knows more about course fishing than I do, you know, if you see me doing anything really stupid, or you can give me any tips in the comments or stuff like that, then, you know, please do. Keep it nice. You know, but yeah, I'm happy to learn from you guys, and if I kind of do anything that you think, oh, that's a good idea, then, you know, brilliant. If you can learn from me, we can all learn from each other. one of the interesting things is because I've come to this later in life, for, you know, from a kind of beach fishing background, I just kind of look at all this kind of gear. It's just so confusing when you go into a tackle shop and you're new to this stuff. But I look at all this gear and you know, just think, oh, well, what if I put that with that? And what if I kind of like, what if I do this? So it may be some of the stuff that I'm doing is kind of fairly unorthodox. But I'm catching fish a lot of the time. So, you know, but then maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just reinventing the wheel. Honestly, I don't know. I do not know. So there you go. That's where we're. Nothing's happened with that. I reckon the line just got bumped by a bream or a tench or something like that. Yeah, so that's where we are. So hopefully, with the new way of filming, with the sound going straight in, you know, straight on with the video, so hopefully editing, this basically is a long old monologue to the camera, so not much editing needed here. You know, I won't keep going on and on forever. I'll turn off in a minute, and then if I do catch a fish, I can turn it back on. But with the new way of filming, hopefully that's going to make my life easier with the editing and stuff. Hopefully the sound quality is working, and that's really good for you guys, so you can hear what I'm saying. I really hate it when all you can hear is wind noise. And with all the different types of fishing that I'm now equipped to do, then, you know, hopefully we'll get as much fishing as possible done. I'll try and put up as many films as I possibly can, and I hope you come along with me for the ride, really. Like I say, maybe some people will learn some stuff from me. Hopefully I'll learn loads of stuff from you. I'll keep watching other people's videos. I mean, Graham Pullen at TA Fishing does every form of fishing, so, you know, he's been so invaluable, and I'm sure a lot of other of you guys out there have learned a lot from him. I must make a shout out actually to another a fishing channel that I've been watching recently, and it's not relevant to what I'm doing at all, really, because it's based on Guernsey, and he's doing a lot of coastal foraging and stuff like that, and I don't really, you know, I don't have the opportunity to do any of that, but I just love his videos, and that's a shout out to Jay at Smash Fishing. If you haven't seen Smash Fishing, then you've got to watch it, because it's just really good fun. He seems to be a cracking guy. You know, he's going out with him and his mate Sam. They're kind of going out there foraging crabs and clams and lobsters and stuff, and they're having cook-ups on the beach, and abalone, or they call ormers in Guernsey. But he also does quite a lot of conger fishing. He does a bit of bass fishing. But it's just great. It's a cracking channel. So, you know, big shout out to him, because I have so been enjoying his videos, and I actually showed some to my daughter Fern, who does go fishing with me occasionally. My younger daughter won't have a bar of fishing, but my other daughter Fern, who hopefully you'll see through the course of videos coming up in the future. She lives down in London, but hopefully she will get out and come up and do some videos with me at some point. She's good fun, but I showed her some of the smash fishing videos, and she was in hysterics. She was really enjoying them. So yeah, if you haven't seen those, go for it. So yeah, I will try and get to the beach. We're going to be in Norfolk for a few days in March, so weather permitting I will be on the beach, so we'll have some beach fishing videos coming up as well. Now that I've got this other car, hopefully I'll get to kind of do a little bit more travelling around. I'm a bit concerned because it's quite old, and it hasn't had a cam belt change. It's only done 40,000 miles since the last cam belt change, but that was nearly 10 years ago. So I would like to get a new cam belt put on it, but I can't really afford that at the moment. So I don't want to do too many miles in case the bloody thing dies on me until I've done that. But yeah, hopefully we'll kind of like get out and about. Quite like to get up to the kind of northeast coast. Well, I say northeast, not up Newcastle way. Well, you know, maybe, but certainly just over. We're kind of south of the Humber. Go over the Humber, up onto the coast in Yorkshire. Wife really wants to go to Whitby at some point, so might get to kind of Whitby, Scarborough. If we manage to do that, it'd be nice to get a bit of fishing in as well. So yeah, there's lots of plans. You know, fingers crossed, work permitting, money permitting, life permitting. You know what it's like. We'll get some fishing in, get some films made. Yeah, certainly my intention to keep on doing it. You know, and I'm hoping as the years go by, more and more, there's a very good chance that my wife and I will end up moving south in a few years' time. That's quite a long way away, because that's where our youngest daughter is. We'd quite like to be down on the south coast. There we go, it's only a tiddler, but it's not blank. Okay, so law of sod. The bloody camera died just as I pulled this one in. I was chatting to these two lovely guys here. I don't know what's your name?
Steve.
Steve. Stephen. Wall. Oh. Steve is actually from the local Pike Anglers Association. And there we go, just a little Jack. And she's been very well behaved and very calm. But lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming along. Charming little creature. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. First one I've seen for a year. Thank you very much. Oh, get you right back in there. We'll get you put back. Go on, off you go, sweetie. No, it says I want to stay in the net. There we go, gone. Beautiful. Yeah! Right. And I'm going home with blood on my fingers. My missus always knows I've had a good pike fishing trip if I go home with plasters. And I haven't got any plasters, so.
I must admit, I do carry a box of my pike here.
I usually do, and I couldn't blooming find them. And I thought, oh well, what the hell. But
can't beat a bit of raker rash, as they call it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. I had one. I think actually it was that 17.5 pounder I had last winter. And I was holding on to her, and she thrashed, and I inadvertently, my thumb went into her mouth, and I just felt a tooth hit the bone. Yeah. Didn't hurt at all, because they're so sharp. Yeah, it just didn't hurt. I just felt it hit the bone, but I bled like a stuck pig for ages.
They've got anticoagulants, haven't they?
In the saliva, yeah.
Right,
and you just bleed and bleed and bleed, didn't you?
Oh, look at the little shad hanging on the end of the tree.
Look at that. That bait can go back.
Oh yeah, I'm a great believer in using my bait again if it's on. bet that Pike ain't happy about it going back out there. He wanted it the first time.
Now I don't know if you know many people who do this, but that's a titanium trace.
Do you know, it's something I've been looking at changing over to. I'm not going to do it this season now because it's not long enough to do it.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard about these titanium traces, they're well worth the money because they don't kink.
Well, they don't kink. I made these.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the backside to make.
Are they?
Because you have to, you need to use a clip, and basically you need to go through there, back through there, back through there.
Right.
So you make kind of like a double loop.
Yep.
So I double crimp that bit.
Just for safety.
Just for safety. But yeah, they just.
Yeah, I've heard. Obviously, we've been discussing them in our bike meetings, and people have said, "Oh, it's expensive to what they are," but the amount that you use compared to ordinary traces.
But when that's the point.
It's
like
incredibly good.
All this not too kinky. There's all this bloody wire, and they all say no, it doesn't kink. It doesn't kink. Usually, you catch one pike and that's it. It's knackered. Yeah. Whereas, yeah, I've not had any problems at all with these. Like I say, they're a bit of a chore to make.
Yeah. But effort, reward.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, the great thing is that because you use a split ring,
you can change your hooks.
You can just change the hooks.
Yeah. Yeah,
so the traces themselves last forever.
Yeah.
I had one where the middle hook, the double loop, pulled out, and I lost the hook.
Right.
But that's only happened once.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, like I say, I've caught like plenty of doubles on those, and like literally, I changed the hooks on them to put fresh hooks on. And they're good to go.
It is something I've been discussing in the pike meetings and looking at changing over for next season.
Yeah.
We ain't really got long this season, and I don't know if I'm going to get any or many trips in now before the end of the season. But it is definitely time to change to next year.
Yeah.
Because I've heard so much good stuff about it. So, I mean, I've had it where I've just tried a brand new trace hook, caught a jack 5 or 6 pound. It's done its Ellie meds around the landing net, tangled everything up, and get it unhooked, let it go, and your traces like a curly wire.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what wire I've tried. I mean, I've got some wire traces in there as backup, just in case anything goes wrong with the. But I've been using those now. Well, I used them all last winter. Didn't have a problem apart from one where that loop kind of pulled out, because obviously you can't tie it.
Yeah, the law of averages says something has got to go wrong on something at some point.
But the good thing with that is it's a learning curve. So then the next time you make it, you just kind of okay, you've got to make sure that those crimps are really kind of done on that double loop. And then, like I say, I've not had any problem with any of the other ones that I made. So
yeah, definitely worthwhile the money.
Well, brilliant. It wasn't a blank. That's what it's all about. First time fishing in months. It was only a little jack, but it wasn't a blank. Splendid behaviour.
I just wait for his mum.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be very nice. Especially while I'm still watching.
Okay, it looks like we've got another one on. Oh, we definitely have. That feels better. That's a better fish.
There you go, buddy. Do you want me to?
Well, you can net her if you want.
Yeah, as long as you're alright with that, mate. I'm not going to chase it though.
Come in gently. No, calm down, girl.
She's in.
Oh, that's a much better one. That's a much better one.
Sir.
Oh, yes. Oh, blimey, she's a lump. She's a lump.
That might be the mum then. What stuff like that?
I think that's Mummy.
Yeah, oh, she's nice.
That's a lovely one.
It was that commenter catching its mum next.
Yeah, that was it. That's what did it.
New lot of children shouting if I hadn't seen it.
It's a good job you did. First time I've used these bait alarms for a long time, so the batteries might have gone.
Yeah.
Look at you. Hello, baby.
Pike.
Pike. Big teeth.
Yeah, cracking teeth.
I can't get over. Come on. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right in the scissors. Beautiful.
I know you like it.
Beautiful. Thank you for seeing that bite. Because, whoa, steady on, girl. Because that stopped her swallowing the bait. Ow, 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 ow.
Forest.
Weighed,
Bless her.
weighed, photographed and returned safely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh mate, you've got
video evidence to prove
That's it.
that.
Let's got that out.
right, mate.
Okay, yeah.
Use your rod, mate.
Lovely. Right, okay, I'm going to... Let's stick her back in the water for a minute and then I'll get the bag out and we can weigh her.
Just going to lay the rod on your bank sticks.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, she's been quite calm. So let's get her.
Safe, mate. On here. Yeah, member of the Pike Anglers Club.
Oh,
Nice to see you guys getting about up and down. I'll just
whoa, 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 whoa. Steady on, girl.
People expect miracles, don't they? That's the trouble.
When I'm on a boat, so I get about half
Yeah. Come and hold that, Chaz.
Yeah, if you can grab the net.
Oh no, mate. Pardon?
You're gonna weigh it, photograph it, and put it back.
Don't worry, love. I'm a member of the Pike Anglers Club. Won't get hurt.
Oh. Right. Let's get her in there.
You're not going to give you food. As a thank you.
Tom's been ready, mate. I'll move from there.
Right, there we go. Let's lay her in. Right.
Did she have any scars down her?
I don't know, we'll have a look in a minute when we put her in front of the camera.
Between 13 and 14 is a scar, isn't it?
You've lost your bait now.
That ain't got the thing in it.
That's
Oh,
fine. There's no hook in it. 14.4.
Yeah.
Okay, well we got to take the weight of the bag off.
I think I see a scar down its flank. That's what made me say that, Chaz. It is Chaz, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to pay.
You've lost your bait.
You're right. So very.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, have you caught it before?
I've got to say yes, but I don't mean it in a disrespectful way.
Right. Okay. Very carefully. There we go. So around 14 pounds. I think that's 4 to 6 ounces. So just under 14 pounds. She'll probably go. Beautiful.
Stunning fish.
Lovely fish.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Another pale fish again, which is
Yeah.
got to be. I've never seen them that pale. It must be because of the coloured water, isn't it? Got
Yeah,
to be
she's got.
sort of-
You can see where she's had a couple of bites. Another pike's had a go at her at some point in her life,
Yeah.
but she's still.
There are several fish down here, Chaz, with them.
Yeah.
And especially where your left hand is, there's a
Yeah.
couple of 12 or 13 pound fish that's got the scars down the bottom end.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sam. Oh, there we go.
Very good.
Wonderful.
Right, in very clear water, a pike goes very, very dark in colour. As long as it's a predator, it's preying on other fish. In really coloured water, which this place, it's only because of all the rain we've had, this place is only 6 colours. I don't know how to fish on the front. I've got to
There we go, she's gone off good and strong. Yes! We like that!
How big was the one that you got earlier?
Oh, it's only a little jack, it's probably only a couple of pounds.
If you look at that picture, that fish was, it looks light there because of the light of the flash.
Yeah.
But look how dark it actually is on the back. That was caught from down here, and it's crystal clear water, so a much darker fish.
So, we're just going to turn the camera around a little bit.
45 minutes after dark in the winter. Yeah.
There we go, see, so we have an audience for that. This is Steve and Walt.
Kay, the PCSO.
And Kay, the PCSO.
Who actually saw it bite.
Who actually saw the bite, because the bite alarm didn't go off. And it was hooked just in the scissors, so she saw it at just the right time. Absolutely wonderful.
And down there's the
There we go.
bait.
This has been a very entertaining and friendly session.
It's been brilliant, mate. You know, we've come down. I said to my mate, well, because we're from the other end of Brampton area, I said to him, mate, I couldn't tell you that we're doing a lot of biking. Unfortunately, I'm not fishing this year yet. It's called up and coloured it's been. But we'll just pop down and show you. And fortunately, we met Chaz and he's had a couple of fish while we've been talking. So, win-win situation.
Yeah,
The guy that
been fabulous.
worked with Luke, he's
Cracking up.
pike fishing.
Yeah.
He sent us one that drinks quite a lot.
Yeah. There's a big fish in the centre of the bite. That was 26 I just done you. But that fish down here, that's done 32. When I caught it, if you look at the picture, where I'm holding it on the stomach, my hand is right inside the stomach, nothing in the stomach whatsoever. But it has done 32, but unfortunately, when I came down, not last year, the year before.
They lose a lot of weight then.
They do when they're spawning,
Yeah.
and then what they'll do is they'll kind of like, they'll rest up.
They don't spawn till about
February. No pike early February.
No, yeah, February, March. So they'll be quite, when they're kind of around this time of year is the best time to catch them. That's when they're their heaviest.
Yeah.
If you're after weight, and then
Is that mackerel?
then they're kind of this is actually a bit of bluey. It's a sea bait, but it
Sea baits are very, very good for pike fishing.
although to be fair, that's got a whiting on it that I caught myself off the beach, and that hasn't had a bite yet. But
I'll tell you what, I've always done well down on here, Chad. Always stinkers, as I call them, sardines.
yeah, the only problem with those is they're very soft. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when I fishing waters like this, I never fish more than 2/3 of the way across. Out there, you've got a channel. And I found fishing on the edge of the channel, either this side edge or that side edge, for some reason has caught me more fish. A lot of people fish in the centre of the channel because it's the deep fish, not necessarily always the best. And I speak for any.
No, they quite often what they do is because most of the bait fish are on the ledge.
That's right. A lot of
So
people
they
don't
patrol
realise
along the edge. They don't go deep unless it's very cold.
So yeah, same thing, yeah.
Yeah. So the hook that's taking the weight,
Here's the tail up, yeah.
you go right through the backbone, right on the hook. So
If
that
you've ever done piking yet,
yeah.
I've towed it.
So you can cast that, and that's never going to come off because that's in that route.
You'll see, even with the sardines, you've got a bit of a root to the tail if you want to. See, I only slip my baits out underarm on it. So don't, you know, you can always do it with the sardines because you're not giving it the ump or anything.
So there you go, about there, and that's right on the edge of where that drop off is.
Yeah. You know what? It's only earlier on we're saying today to get some nasty comments. We had a big fish here a couple of years ago. I'll tell you what it is. Because the bobbins come off, these roller alarms, you have a roller.
Yeah.
Sometimes the rollers are a little bit too stiff just to put in loose line over up. And that's what it is. That's what's happened. That's why I use a different alarm. It's called a Delkim. And a Delkim has a vibration plate. So just by putting loose line,
It's got a little kind of Y thing,
it signals it.
and it'll go sideways and it'll go, whereas this has got a roller. But to be honest, you look at the price of Delkims compared to, and those foxes are really good.
Yeah.
That one fastened up, was it? I thought that was
Yeah,
It probably was because the bite would have taken it loose. The point of these is they're called drop back indicators.
Yeah.
So either the pike will take the bait and swim off with it, in which case that will just go straight up to the reel. So actually we probably want that a little bit lower, or it will come towards me, in which case you'll get a slack bite, which means that will just drop back that way.
Yeah.
If it takes off with it, it'll pull out of the clip and it will just fall away as well.
I will tell you one thing I did notice down here, Chaz.
They're very good actually.
Yeah, they're brilliant. So what we did notice down here, normally as a rule, I used to fish dead bait, I used to fish tight clips up under the spool.
Yeah.
You know, you bob in.
Yeah.
And what was happening down here was getting beep, 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 and thinking it was weed coming down.
Yeah.
And I sat there one day watching my rods and was sat watching it, and it did it, and I said, that's a fish, and I went straight down and hit it, and it was a fish.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we started doing then was we was getting it happen quite a lot.
Yeah.
And not realising it was fish. So I started fishing with mine down like you are.
Yeah.
And I've had people come up to me and say, oh, you're carping, mate. No, I'm piking. Well, what's will you buy your bobbins today?
Yeah.
And what it was so I could see the bite before it was feeling the way to the clip. And as soon as I see it, I was coming up and I was pulling the line to pull the clip off towards the fish so it don't feel it.
Yeah.
We was getting so many more fish, mate. It was incredible.
Yeah. I've never had a problem with these at all, because it's kind of like, obviously
Which clips are they? I'll tell you why.
they're the Fox
No,
ones.
you've got the better clips.
Yeah.
Mine have got the gate clip on them.
Ah.
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of having the clip like that, they've got a gate that opens.
Yeah,
And
because
they're a
these
little
are
bit
actually adjustable.
That's
You can
right,
actually
they are,
turn
yeah.
these, and you can make them.
Yes.
So they're very sensitive.
I
They
have
come
got
off
some
really
of them
easy.
now, but the first original Fox ones that they did had the gate clip.
Yeah, yeah, I know
And
the ones
that's
you mean.
what was happening. There was pulling up, and there was feeling that, and there was spitting the bait.
Yeah.
So I started fishing it slack, still enough to show a drop back,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, mate, we started catching a lot more fish.
yeah,
Just something as simple and trivial as that.
yeah.
It made such a massive difference to the amount of fish we caught down here. And now I tend to do that everywhere I go pike fishing.
You can use this one as a beginner's lesson on you.
Did that one?
Yeah, it has to be said. It's you know, I mean, it's one of the advantages of kind of taking up this form of fishing kind of later in life and in one go. It's kind of like, you know, you look on, like, you watch YouTube videos and you look online and stuff like that, and you just think, right, okay, I want to buy myself a 3-rod setup, and you buy everything together. So you kind of like, you know, you've got your matching rods, you've got your matching reels, you've got your kind of like, you know, drop back indicators, you buy it all at the same time.
I went for the
Measured
TX Sonic,
But unfortunately,
TX7.
that's my
Yeah.
on its head like that.
Yeah.
Teeth have been broken inside its mouth.
Yeah, I mean, Delkims are they're brilliant. There's no doubt about it. But I've never found that these things, they don't really let me down. Like you say, you know, if you're looking at the rods, you're going to see the rod tip go. Like, you know, Kate did. She saw the rod tip go anyway.
No scales, no fins, no stomach, nothing. Just that skull. And I'm 99.9% sure about that big fish that's down here.
Yeah, these rods are just brilliant because they're so lightweight, and because I'm not, you know, I'm not fishing anywhere where I'm having to wang it out a long way anyway. You don't need big rods, but they're very lightweight. You know, they've been brilliant. Swear by them. Ooh. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see me now. It's getting quite dark. It's time to pack up. So I've got a little light going on there. I didn't charge it up, so I don't know how good it is. But I'm pulling the rods in now. It's getting dark. I don't like handling fish with trebles and stuff like that at night. Not good for the fish health. But we had a couple of pike. We had that little jack, and then we had one that actually went 13 pounds 10 ounces once I'd taken the weight of the bag off, and whatever. So 13.10. So we had a double. Woo! So chuffed to bits with that. Really nice to meet Clive and Walt and Kay, who's one of the local PCSOs. So I've spent a long time chatting with them. Clive's actually one of the committee of the local Pike Anglers Club, which is fab. Their last meeting of the season is at the beginning of March, so I will go along to that. I went along to a couple of meetings about a year ago, but I felt like Billy no mates. But now that I've met Clive and stuff, I think I'll make the effort. You can always learn something. They have really interesting talks there and stuff. So yeah. So that's really good. So all in all, it's been lovely to get out on the bank. It's been really nice talking to a couple of people. You know, and I've had a couple of fish, and it's brilliant, and I'm back in now. Yay, we're back to making videos. So let's hope it won't be too long before I get another one out. Let's hope that this one can go up, because all the, you know, hopefully all the sound and everything's worked. So look after yourselves. Oh, I should do the thing. What is it people say? Subscribe, like, click the bell icon, then you'll know when I do put another one up. You know, I'm never going to be one of those people, or certainly not for the next few years until I retire and I do this a lot more, that is going to put up, guaranteed to put up a film every Friday or whatever. So if you hit the bell icon, at least then you will be notified when another one of my films does come up. If you've enjoyed it, say please press the like button, do subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.